Hi, I'm Maurice Jackson. I'm here with author and entrepreneur Rosita Brand. If you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to raise capital for your business, a book that you definitely want to check out is the latest work of Miss Rosita Brand. Rosita has 40 years experience as an entrepreneur, and she started a company 40 years ago essentially with $100 capital and has grown it to an international business. Rosita, would you mind expanding upon your most recent work that you're doing?
Well, I retired 10 years ago after 34 years working in this business. I started it because I was curious and I wanted to start the business of my own. And certain circumstances in my life brought me to what I ended up doing. And all of those were changed by the funny name of my book. The name of my book is Safety Pin. And you may wonder, why is that? So when you buy the book, read from the beginning, and you will know exactly what I meant. And it developed during a year or a few months for me trying to figure out how to do intaglio, which fascinated me, but you have to read it. Now,
and is intaglio, if I may, is that an art form? What is intaglio?
It's a technique. It's really embossing.
Okay.
But the name is intaglio, and it just challenged me to learn about it. And I was in the United States, and I was a South American lady, and I started to work and struggle along. As a matter of fact, I went to learn how to do intaglio in a class in San Francisco, and the lady came to me and said, "Draw something." Well, I had no idea. She said, "What kind of education do you have?" I said, "Nothing. I haven't taken a pencil or a brush since I was 15. And she got so mad and she told me, "You'll never amount to anything. And why do all the cooks of San Francisco end up in my class?" And ever since that, when I remember about those classes, it makes me smile because look at where I got.
Yes.
And she thought I was an ignorant.
Well, what I find interesting as well is, and we had shared lunch together. You had shared with me the difficulties of when you're starting an idea and having the surroundings that actually help you make that idea come to fruition, because if you share it with the wrong people, they'll kind of hold you down. And you had to find the right support group, per se, but also you had to more importantly believe in yourself when others doubted you. And I found that very inspiring because you're a woman and Latin speaking, if I'm not mistaken, it was Colombia, correct?
Right.
And to have all those barriers 40 years ago makes me look at myself and say, well, what barriers do I have? I'm a male in America. I speak English. And to my advantage as well, I have the internet. And all those weren't there for you. And still women don't have the equality that men have. And for you to be as successful as you have been and will continue to be, I think a lot of the people watching this are really going to be intrigued with what you have to say.
Well, it was not easy, but on the other hand, nobody discouraged me because nobody knew what I was doing. And I didn't tell anyone because my sister would have called me insane at my age and in a different country and different customs. And here I'm struggling, and I ended up being an artist. And this was not that easy, but I'm very stubborn, and I decided this is it. But I will say there were other things that changed my life, because when I matured, I'm an old lady now, but when I matured, I read a lot of positive thinking books. I read Ayn Rand, who was my hero, and I met her personally, which is something remarkable. I once flew to New York just to meet her, because there were things that were bigger than me, because I think that books are bigger than us. And when they make us think, we develop in something altogether different. And I wrote this book because everybody had asked me to do it, and I don't want to talk about my life. So I wrote the book because the book has, this one is just speaks about my business and how I started and the way I started it and the lessons that I learned and the realization that if I had had capital, I would never have done anything. But because I did not have the capital to throw away, because that's what I would have done, I learned to take care of my stuff, and I grew like that. And then I was lucky. Everything I did was selling. And this was remarkable for me because I knew it wasn't good. So I had to go back and learn to paint and learn about color and then all the things that are involved in the business.
Rosita, your book, Safety Pin, it's not a how-to book, is it? It's a book on shared experiences and losses through life, is it not? If you would, share that with the audience, because I think a lot of people think this is another how-to book, and it's not.
Well, I think that we learn from the experiences, our experiences and others. So this is a book of my experiences and learning how to do things that I think will be of very great help to you, because they were to me, and my failures, because I made mistakes by the ton. But I learned to correct them. And this book is the result of 34 years of my business with the greeting cards. I did include illustrations in the book of the cards, so you can see what my product was. It had a tremendous acceptance all over the world. And like I told you, I had 4,000 stores selling my product in the United States, plus distribution in over the world.
Now, let's just say it one more time. How many? 4,000.
4,000 accounts in the United States. And I'm proud to say they lasted with me from day one until I quit the work. The reason I wrote this book is because I felt that I wanted to share my experiences and secrets that I could not divulge when it was my income. But now that I'm 86 years old, and I don't care what happens, but I feel I want to return what I received, because not all of the examples I give are mine. It is assimilating all the experiences from the rest of the people whom I asked, and they so graciously told me how to do things. So I learned. So what I learned, I put it here. So everything that I have in this book is the absolute truth, and you can see by that. And if I can help someone, that's all the price I'm getting.
So Safety Pin allows me actually now to have a competitive advantage against you, huh?
Yes.
Well, you have it in English?
I have it in English and I have it in Spanish because they're going to be sold or introduced mainly now in Cartagena de Indias, where I reside now, although I lived almost 50 years in the United States and I developed this, and I'm grateful, like you can't believe it, what it is in the United States. But when I came, I would call anybody and ask for advice, and they helped me. And that's a great thing that I feel I can share with people who start a business. Just ask them, may I pick your brains? Can you help me? And if you say it nicely, they're more than willing to help you.
Yes.
And that's how I learned. I didn't have to go to college for that. And because of that, I did a great job in my business since I lasted 34 years. And I had over 4,000 accounts in the States,
Yes.
plus distribution in so many overseas countries. And there are many examples in the book, that you may enjoy reading about, because some are good and some are failures. But those were the ones that taught me what to do, and I hope it will do you too. And that's what I'm going to leave once I'm gone from this part of the world.
Well, we hope to have you around much longer than that, because you need to sign my edition of the book.
Right. This little book is something you're going to keep. If you start a business, or you are in business, or you're an artist, because I try to give all of the lessons that I learned and how I learned them. Many of them I taught myself how to, like to do the dies for the embossing. But others were taught to me by all those wonderful people that I asked, and they share their experiences with me, and I transferred them to you. So I gave all the experiences, the good and the bad, and I hope that they will help you. So you can just browse through it, go to the beginning and find out more: sales, color, design, embossing, and you'll find the answers.
Well, Rosita, thank you. Same with the audience. I'm sure we thank you as well. We look forward to reading your book, and much success.
Thank you.